Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is one of the 5 freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. The government may not stop people from speaking or writing about their ideas. The First Amendment allows Americans to criticize our government, our leaders, and each other. We may tell jokes about the president and anyone else. We may write about our ideas in books, newspapers, the internet, and on radio and TV. We may invite people to join a religion, and we may criticize a religion. People who don't like speakers or their ideas may protest peacefully. America's freedom of speech is one reason that immigrants have come to the United States. They feel they can breathe freely here. They may speak their own language in public, sing their own songs, and keep their own religion. People may not like some of the ideas they hear or read, but it's important that everyone is allowed to express their ideas. We need to know how other people think and feel. Freedom to have different ideas is not limited to things that people don't care about. The test of this freedom is the right to have different ideas about things that people care very deeply about. Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson in 1943. Hate speech. Hate speech is angry speech against a person or group based on their race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or national origin. Some states passed laws against hate speech. This year, the Supreme Court ruled that these laws were unconstitutional. Justice Samuel Alito wrote, "Speech may be hateful. However, we protect others' freedom to express even the thoughts that we hate." Arya Nair, former director of American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, said, "It is best not to pay too much attention to hate speech. It's helpful to answer hate speech with the peaceful expression of the opposite ideas." Symbolic speech. From 1964 to 1975, the U.S. was at war in Vietnam. Many Americans disagreed with this war. They marched in cities and marched in Washington. They carried signs asking to end the war. They made speeches. They taught people the history of the war. The First Amendment protected these actions. Some people burned the American flag. Many states passed laws to make it a crime to burn the flag. In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled that those state laws were unconstitutional. Burning the flag is a form of symbolic speech. The First Amendment protects it. Taking a knee. In recent years, there have been many protests against police brutality towards African Americans. One protest was made by a football player, Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick did not stand when the national anthem was played before the game. Instead, he took a knee. Does the Constitution protect this symbolic speech? Yes. President Trump said that taking a knee is disrespectful to the United States flag and military. However, Even the president cannot make the rules for football teams or any other business. Some of Kaepernick's teammates followed his example. Soon members of other sports teams were also taking a knee during the national anthem. Owners of football teams do not need to protect symbolic speech. Kaepernick's contract with the 49ers ended last March. No other team has hired him since then. His bold protest may cost him millions of dollars. On December 4, 2017, Colin Kaepernick received the Courageous Advocate Award from the ACLU. He also received the Muhammad Ali Legacy Award from Sports Illustrated. Limits to free speech. May people say or write anything they want in any place they want? No, there are limits to free speech. We are not free to yell "fire" in a crowded place. That would cause panic when there is no fire. We are not free to tell others to commit a crime. The Constitution only protects public speech and writing. Families, schools, businesses, and private organizations may have their own rules about speech. For example, it is against school rules to make fun of others or bully someone, even if a student does it outside of school. Theaters don't want people to talk during a show. Libraries have quiet areas. Managers might remove people from these places if they don't respect those rules. Does the First Amendment protect lying? Telling a lie when answering questions under oath is a crime. It is a crime to file a false income tax return. Lying to police or filing a false police report can be a crime. People involved in a crime may be asked to take a lie detector test. Lying may sometimes be fraud, which is a crime. For instance, it is fraud to lie about conditions of a house or car for sale. It's fraud when a person lies on a job or insurance application or on a contract. Speech at work. The workplace must be a safe place for workers. That means managers and co-workers should not disrespect workers. An employer may not stop employees from speaking to each other in their own language. However, employers may require workers to speak English when talking with the public. In addition, employers may fire a worker who says something in public against the company or its owners. Censoring speech. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has rules against indecency on TV between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. A censor may bleep out vulgar words that someone speaks. Cable television stations do not need to follow FCC rules. They have more freedom of speech.